So I just did about 30 minutes of fishing off stream, and most of my junk and treasure items, well, most of my non-fish catches are in this blue shulker box here. Going to get back to base and quickly just look through what we got. Unfortunately, no mending books showed up. Yeah, I'm being dead serious. And, well, most of this is junk. Maybe not so much the fishing rods, but I don't really need extras. I'm also playing modern Minecraft with custom bows, so the vanilla ones really don't have any sort of use. I got one book in that entire 30 minutes of fishing, and it was just a Power 4 book. Well, it's still decent. Still pretty useful, but not what I was aiming for ultimately. There's better ways of getting a Power 4 book than just simply doing all that fishing. So now I'm basically just going to start throwing things away that I know I'm never going to use. Also, never plan to use saddles either. Even if I could actually... Even if I ever did go through the trouble of taming a horse, pretty sure I can't just bring it to another dimension. If that's the case, then kind of defeats the purpose of actually taming a horse. P.S. I am 2019 YouTube reunion of Kepler, right? I was wondering how I remembered that. I don't even feel like keeping the extra fishing rods either. Still never actually officially decided on what would happen for livestream number 100. I would love to actually consider uploading this world to a server so we could all just play on it and have fun. Well, actually more specifically a copy of the world. And basically just let everyone do whatever they want. And then just basically see what happens from there. We're gonna cook the salmon quickly. So I have food to basically do my next trip through whatever dimension I want to do next. While that cooks, I'm just gonna also get some seeds. Might actually just consider planting the rest of the seeds up here. At the rate things are going, I really don't think I'm ever going to use these eye bulbs. I don't really see myself having use for these, so I'm probably just going to put more wheat seeds up here instead. And then maybe put even more later. Probably never gonna use these, most likely. Well, looks like the salmon's done cooking. How am I doing in terms of crystals? Doing okay. So I could actually get back to work on just grinding out crystals and Crystevia. Because I have yet to even spawn the boss or even consider it up until now. And given what I'm seeing, I think I might actually stand a chance against this boss. Given what I've seen about the boss of Crystevia, I think I stand a chance against it. And to get the giant crystals, you basically need to get 40 purple and 40 red crystals to have 2 chances at fighting this boss. Since Crystalcore is a mainly debuff-based boss, as in he likes to inflict a lot of negative stats effects on you to make fighting him harder. But, not too long ago I came across a web staff, while actually just grinding out Books of Shadows to fight Shadowlord with. So I came across this, and let me tell you that this will certainly make the Crystalcore fight that much easier. Hence why I said I think I might stand a chance against them, because now I have this thing. Removes all negative stats effects. Then it would honestly just be a matter of actually mining a bunch of crystals. Well, actually, no, mining the gemstones and then just getting the crystals until the whole process is basically done, so I can kill Crystalcore enough times to get a golden statue of him. And since it's pretty dark in there, I'm going to make some potions. Of night vision specifically, since it is dark in Crystevia. And that... I'm not going to need to carry this with me for sure into Crystevia. I'm not going to do fishing there. I don't think I'm going to need my runes too badly in there. Probably going to save those for more difficult things, like maybe more trips and Vox spawns or perhaps boss fights. But I am going to want to bring a lot of Rosedons. Given how Crystevia's terrain generates, I am going to want a lot of those with me. Probably going to grab a couple more while I'm just waiting for our potions to brew. I'll probably take all those Rosedons with me. Even if I'm not necessarily going to use them all, still might be a good idea to just do so. I could also opt to maybe repair 2 of these armor pieces before heading out there. I guess I will do that too, while I'm still waiting. Potions are all ready, but I want to just repair this armor I have first. I will be doing stuff with this eventually as well, but I'm gonna probably go back to Crystevia for a bit first. Oh, Sweaty, welcome back. And yes, I finally did get this face mask. It wasn't easy, but I found a setup that worked. I essentially did everything I could to just not have to leave this 90 by 90 square with this Exoid platform in the middle. Found some pretty interesting things on how Exoids spawn. They seem to group up in one of 4 possible places upon killing them. So they don't spawn anywhere within this 45 block radius, they tend to just all spawn at like 4 corners of this 90 block square, basically. They tended to 4 corners, so what I figured out was just put some giant landmarks to basically indicate where they're going to spawn. Quickly check each of the landmarks after killing the Exoid at the Exoid platform in the middle. Find him as fast as possible, and then actually shoot him with these arrows to make him run faster, so he'll come back to the center platform sooner. So I'll have more time to just kill him when he's dead center in the middle of the Exoid platform. That way I basically don't have to leave the square where the Exoid platform's centered at. Just all that made it a lot easier, basically not having to leave a certain area. And yes, it did place a lot of half slabs in said area, just to basically have more control over what spawned and what didn't. Also really want to just limit what enemies did spawn. That plus just having a much easier time getting from the center of the Exoid platform to wherever the next Exoid spawned and back. So I also have to cover up a lot of toxic waste. Otherwise, it just simply wasn't going to work. Though I would still like to get mending on this thing, because I did actually look at it on the wiki and it has very low durability compared to any other helmet. So for now, I'm actually going to return to Christevia and just look for more gemstones. Sure, it may look like I'm basically right in front of just getting Vox Pawns done for good, but I'm going to go back to Christevia. And bringing a ton of these because, yes, I still know like exactly how Christevia generates in terms of terrain, and you'll be at a huge advantage bringing these and this to that dimension. More planks and logs than ever actually got around to using. Most of these did get turned into slabs in place, though, by the way. I think I had about, like, 3 stacks of logs, which was 12 stacks of planks, and that was all pretty much turned into slabs and placed. Just to limit what enemies could actually spawn. So I'd like to actually start exploring Christevia some more and just gathering more gemstones to convert to crystals. That way, then maybe I could actually start fighting the boss there, because I know it's a debuff-based boss, and the web staff's gonna give me a huge advantage when fighting it. All is good right now. I'm just basically preparing for another trip, specifically one into Christevia, since we've not been there in a long time. Lunar magic is great. Indeed. So this dimension right here we're going to pop back into. And we're going to try and just grab as many crystals as possible. I don't think I'm going to bring the ones I already have back in the overworld with me. I think we can just go like this and probably be fine. Okay. I know what that is, but I don't know where it is because I can't see it in front of me anymore. I just wish I could see it. That, or I could also just opt to simply walk in the opposite direction if I really don't want to bother with that thing. And now I'm gonna have to just get used to fighting these things again. Probably one of the deadlier mobs in Christevia for sure. Hits hard. It's hard to hit back because it's a tiny target, moves pretty fast. The debuff will stay, making the web staff ineffective. Well, I do know you're actually also fighting all the bosses yourself and trying to get gold statues of them. Yeah, I know that's gonna take a long time. It's certainly feasible and all, it's just gonna be really time consuming. I mean, once you figure out how to kill the boss the first time around, every other boss kill after that's just gonna be a lot easier. So now I'm basically going to have to grab as many crystals as possible, ideally red and purple ones if I want to fight Crystal Core. If I want to buy other things, then probably other crystal types might be a good idea to grab. But we gotta mainly focus on red and purple right now if we want to actually fight the boss. I might be able to one-shot a lot of these mobs actually now. Yeah, these gemstones are basically everywhere in this dimension. Really not hard to find at all. Hard part might be fighting all these mobs if you're not, like, in very good gear. Already picking up quite a few gemstones, but I should probably try and hurry it up. If I really want to get to fight Crystal Core as soon as possible, I should hurry this up. I can only imagine my gear must have been so much worse the last time I was here, because I think that had to have been like at least 60 live streams ago of playing this. Like, my weapons and armor have just gotten so much better since then. I mean, especially like my weapons, really. Certainly took a while to come by this thing to get that. Then again, it just took me a long time to actually consider going after the skeletal army. It's certainly going to pay off in the long run, for sure, to have just... Especially if I would have gone after them sooner. No, it's still alive. Not anymore. I'm gonna have to hope we don't get too many of those interrupting with the Crystal Core fight. Probably one of the bigger dangers is having too many of those group up on you at once while you're fighting the boss. Also depends on what debuff you're stuck with, perhaps. If I want to start actually just gathering red crystals from my gemstones, I can do so now, it looks like. These might take a while to kill. Yeah, not fun to be fighting these guys in the dark. Alright, it looks like I've cleared most of them out. I don't know how so many of these things just find me all the time. Like, I got rid of all the other enemies and then 3 more just found me somehow. Man, I can't even aim and hit these things. They just keep flying away. Alright, I'll just... Never mind, I won't ignore them. As soon as I take my eyes off them, they just attack me again. And as soon as I try and look at them, they just start flying away and I can't hit them. At least not with melee, anyways. I don't even know what's shooting at me now. Oh, it's probably that. I'll just ignore it, I guess. I'll just ignore the thing shooting at me. Unless I start to actually really run short on health. I think I can just ignore it and still be fine. He's gonna be barely even hittable at all. Yeah, he's barely even touchable. Being that far away. Just bring really good projectile resistance. Or better yet, just bring really good well-enchanted armor if you want to have a good chance of surviving in this dimension. And sometimes you literally can't get these enemies off of you at all. Particularly those ones just keep on finding you. If I can maybe find a place to put some of these actually still being attacked. Alright, I'm being kind of backed into a corner now. Just so I can maybe have time to actually pick up some of my gemstones would be nice. Right, I got him. Alright, it's basically gone by the time I actually notice it's even like close enough for me to hit with melee. It's basically just gone. I was trying to fly even further away. As in, like, now I can't even see it anymore. Is that what the last... Is that like the same construct of terror that was attacking me all this time before? Looks like it was. Already got a few shots in it, it looks like. And there's another one. And there's another. I could have just got a good melee hit in, but nope. Oh, something else is attacking me. Well, I gotta clear this thing up first. Yeah, I can barely even touch this thing right now with just arrows. I need to bring something better than just arrows to shoot stuff like that. Looks like it can't warp up any further than going up here, pretty much. Up there's basically the top of the dimension. Usually never actually wander on up here. Just a lot easier to do so with the Rozons, much quicker to just wander up here. Not quite sure when I'm actually going to just bring all of these gemstones over to crystal creators. Might want to consider just exchanging them sooner or later before these start to run out, but that's probably still not going to happen for a while, it looks like. I mean, each night vision potion, the way I brew it, lasts 8 minutes. Alright, something else is shooting at me. Well, we're certainly coming across plenty of these crystals and gemstones by now. Yeah, I've certainly been picking up as many as possible. Oh, Stevie Boy, long time no see. So I'm guessing you must have maybe either lost your old account or maybe you're using an alt on like another device or something. I mean, people tend to have like different accounts on their mobile phones. I mean, it's just more convenient to not have to keep switching accounts. Or that. Where did I download Luigi's Adventure? There's basically that giant server. There's basically that giant website called ServeGame that Xandro actually set up, like, I think it was 2 years ago. It basically does have, like, nearly every Super Mario ROM hack that ever existed on it. Even the ones I just assumed were lost forever. You'll even find, like, rejected Super Mario ROM hacks from, like, 2010, maybe even, like, from further back. Isn't it down? It was for a moment, but it should still be up. Last I checked, it was still up. Oh, hello. There. Back at Christevia, because I have plans of actually fighting this Dimensions boss right now. Not to mention, most of my gear has just become so much better since I first came here, so I might actually have a reasonable chance at killing this boss. It doesn't have custom music, so it should work on SNES 9X. Likely so, but I didn't actually test it. For a ROM hack that's that old, the only thing I can imagine breaking on would be custom music. Well, older ROM hacks, but that one's actually so old that it probably, like, it dates back to a time custom music wasn't really a thing yet. You have to kind of wonder what question Forthright MC would have asked back then, before custom music. Does it have custom graphics? Oh, this guy on Super Mario Central who used to ask all the time, does this ROM hack have custom music? Whenever someone was working on a new Super Mario ROM hack, he'd always ask if it had custom music. Basically. Why though? I honestly have no idea. Yeah, one of the few times I can actually hit a Construct of Terror with a melee attack. Because usually it's flying high up in the sky. Is he still asking if hacks are gonna have custom music? He's not really active on Super Mario Central anymore, last I checked. I remember seeing a name similar to his in VLDC 9's worst level section because that was him. He made one of the lower ranking levels, basically. Oh, good. Thought I forgot my blue shulker box somewhere again. Alright, now that's a lot of gemstones. Holy shit, yes, really. That's a lot of gemstones. Might soon consider actually bringing those to crystal creators. And then just turning the gemstones into crystals. Ideally as many as possible, because it's random as to how many crystals you actually get out of these gemstones you mine. Yeah, VLDC 9, of course that's some good levels. And of course it's gonna have bad ones too. Not to mention you can skip some of the more frustrating ones, if you want to. So casuals could still just 100% complete it, technically. Oh, right, this is getting annoying. I should have maybe just considered running away from these guys, looking them all. Yeah, basically 3 Construct of Terror shooting at me, maybe even 4. No way I'm going to be keeping up with all those bullets. I'm just going to, like, boot it from there, basically. Yeah, VLTC 10 is eventually where Super Mario Central just got so many people who submit a level to the contest that putting them all into one ROM file just wouldn't really be feasible anymore. Right, I'm not going to be warping up from there. Nowhere to warp to, basically. Well, they made 2 ROM hack files for it. Nothing really stopping them from doing so. Or put only the top 60 or 70 entries, that was also considered, to encourage people to actually make good levels. Wish everyone agreed with that idea, though. That's for blue gemstones up there, that one. I mainly want to actually find converters for red and purple gemstones, though. Since those are the 2 types of gemstones I more or less need to actually fight this Dimensions boss. You can get other kinds of cool things with every other gemstone color, but if I want to fight the boss, I only need to actually chase after red and purple ones right now. Eventually going to run out of night vision potions, and I'm actually just going deeper and deeper into Christevia. Eventually gonna not be able to see very well in here at all, and I'm actually just going a bit deeper and deeper in, or maybe I'm not. Oh, Data Veils, welcome back. I'm basically looking for gemstones in here, specifically red and purple ones, because those are the kinds of gemstones you need to gather and turn to crystals. Then sell to a crystal trader to just actually buy giant crystals which spawn in the boss of this dimension known as Crystal Core. That wasn't actually a live stream, but my tutorial videos in the future would probably be live streamed. And then people could actually just watch me do everything live and actually ask questions if maybe they don't understand something, and I could just basically repeat it if necessary. Still gonna have to see how I can get part 2 up. Camtasia Studios being really, like, stubborn right now when it comes to that. Not that complex. Maybe I should start heading back at this point. So I should be facing east, ideally, if I really want to go backwards. If I want to go back towards the overworld portal, I should be facing east. Should introduce a built-in tutorial. Well, there's already a help file that's been in Lunar Magic since probably, like, the beginning of its existence, really. Most complex thing I've found in Advent of Ascension. Well, one of the hardest things I had to do lately was get a face mask. Considering just how difficult it is to really get the X-Wing minigame up and running. As in, you're actually able to just hunt down the X-Wings and kill them consistently. You'd have to watch a bunch of my older streams. From, like, just a couple live streams ago, I was actually still grinding that, actually. Alright, so now we're in this crystal creator structure. I'm gonna momentarily just block myself in here so nothing can fire at me or chase me down while I'm in here, just converting gemstones to crystals. Just so I'm basically untouchable in here. It introduces us to the code, then builds off of that slowly. I have a lot of these. Each gemstone has only a 1 in 8 chance of becoming a crystal, though. And I got like 8 out of 64. Bring something like that into Lunar Magic and you'll have me hooked in no time. Not to mention there are also plenty of tutorials on YouTube you could also look at. I'm already gonna have like 40 purple crystals in this inventory alone. Not to mention I still have a couple left over back at the overworld. Five minutes of night vision still. Hopefully I'm just going to be done getting rid of these sooner or later. Then I might also want to just convert the red gemstones I have as well. Because Super Mario Bros. X I remembered being easier to learn. 60 of these purple crystals, nice. I still want to also turn all these to crystals as well. And yes, I still do have notes as to exactly where all these crystal creators are. So I'm going to head in this direction, basically. To try and get to the red one before it just all goes dark, because I'm out of night vision potions, basically, and this one has, like, barely, like, under 4 minutes of time left in it. So I need to go south, but that thing's not exactly making that easy. More so the fact that I can't go, like, directly south. There's just this giant wall in front of me. So it's not making that exactly the easiest thing to do. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going south. Yeah, giant wall in front of my face, basically. As a lot of people have, basically. I need to specifically get to a red crystal crater here. I could maybe consider doing that too, even if there really is like that much to do. Just trying to see like what exactly is chasing me, because I know it's like a lot of it. Oh, this guy's on top of it, really? Oh, nice. This is already basically blocked off for me. Yeah, I know, right? There's just so much of it. Yeah, this is basically like the length of the RPG and then some. Unless you want to get to assembly language, you didn't really need to code. Not to mention, there's a lot of code out there that just basically have been written for you when it comes to Super Mario hacking. All the custom blocks, sprites, patches, you name it. It's basically all code that's been written for you. So you basically don't have to learn how to do it yourself necessarily. That plus there's always asking someone who actually knows how to ASM to maybe do something for you. Hell, there's even a request thread for asking someone to try and do an ASM request for you. Thankfully, you don't have to learn how to do that yourself to actually use things like... What do you say? Take a break from this and tackle everything else one by one, then begin episode 101. Maybe. Should at least try and get a few things done, for sure. That aren't this. Let me maybe look that up. Like, that's the sound that plays when you successfully get, like, a crystal out of a gemstone. A groom loved me. Let me see this. Wonder if he maybe did possibly rip it from this. I have no idea. Let me see. If I turn off the game audio, I guess I will. Wherever that is. Master volume off. There we go. Yeah, some of the sound effects could have easily been pulled from this. I'll probably leave the song on, perhaps, until I just get out of Crustevia. Even though I can't see very well, shouldn't be that hard to escape. I mean, I have such good gear. I'm not afraid of dying, just going to simply focus on getting the hell out of here at this point. What the hell? I thought I got two for... I thought I got two of these per 40 gemstones. This is gonna take twice as long now. Oh, you get two per 40 crystals. What the hell, Advent of Ascension? Has the crystal SFX a bunch of times in the song. Probably when I actually get out of here, which shouldn't take that much longer. Turn on some Rammstein, some real men's music. I know who you're talking about. They rock. I know what you're talking about. I teleported down with some Rosons. Never seen that before. Now we need to just run straight east and we should be out of here in no time. Not even 200 blocks further east and we'll be able to leave. Yeah, those sound effects sound familiar, alright. So... let's put that back on. Now that we're basically out of Christevia. Okay, so I only got one giant crystal for those 40 crystals of each type. Yeah, it says on the wiki you actually get 2 giant crystals per trade, but I only got one, so... I think it is actually only one and not 2. So this is gonna take twice as long as I thought it would, basically. Never heard of Rage Against the Machine, are you kidding me? And, well, yeah, that's basically how I feel too. So much good music out there, you're not gonna find everything. That's how I feel also. I really want to give this Crystal Core guy a shot. I'll just put these potions away. I think I'll actually carry 2 of these and leave the rest there for now. So Sweaty Seb Web Staff's ineffective, actually. I'm gonna bring it anyway. I don't know. Should I bring it or not? Because apparently what he said, like, the debuff doesn't actually go away. It just gets reapplied as soon as it gets cleared, so... Apparently there's no point bringing this. I'm gonna have to see if that actually is true. So I'll bring the Web Staff. Also, let me bring a ton of runes for the fight, because I want to have my healing methods at the ready. I want to have healing methods ready for sure to just help me do this fight. Otherwise, I might end up in trouble if I don't. Especially depends on what mobs are in the immediate area as I do that fight. Probably going to bring a shield with me during the fight. Oh boy. And probably repair these 2 things first before even attempting it. Also gonna repair those before even attempting that fight. That OP healing one needs runes to work? Well, it's... No, my staff is probably sitting... Yeah, they're in the under chest. These 2 healing staffs, basically, need runes to work. Nature Staff heals holder 5 health, grants brief massive speed buff. And not to mention I have Unbreaking 2 and Archmage 3 on it. Archmage 3 just reduces the rune cost by 1 per level, so... I basically only need 1 life rune to use it instead of the actual 4. But rune costs never go under 1 rune for any type, so it's still going to take up 1 energy rune per use. But my life rune's lasting about 4 times as long. That just makes it even more powerful. Unless I've gotten extremely lucky with that one villager offering that trade. It's basically changed nearly everything. Just such a huge payoff for finding that one guy with the Archmage book. Not gonna be going into that boss fight with armor that's about to fall apart. I would probably then lose that boss fight. Speaking of our staves, well, for the most part, better. I mean, it certainly gives you so much more to do, that's for sure. What are the lava buckets for? I'm using them on this... I'm trying to remember what the name of this thing was. I'm gonna guess filtration system, but I'm not even sure. Filtration system, yes. Basically putting lava into this filtration system, and then using this metal tub on the lava to turn magic bending compound into solution. And then that basically just lets me repair any item that loses durability. Goes from, like, whatever durability it has, even if it's almost none left, to, like, full in one use of magic mending solution. So it's basically just like a full repair for the item. I also did look up, and it does say Crystal Core is immune to guns, so... I might bring this just to try and pump in more damage to Crystal Core. This is a good weapon of choice, slows him down, pushes him back. If I want to fight with melee, I'll bring the shield and skeletal sword, I guess. Or I could maybe just opt to go with the Great Blade, just so I don't have to get in as close to score hits. Or maybe just bring both, perhaps. the ones with the kids. I mostly just watch the streamer rage ones. Like, let me tell you, whenever you see Linden, FPS, or Deller in one of those compilations, you know it's gonna be good. Okay, so I think I'm ready to just go on out there and fight him. I hope I'm not wrong, and I hope Christopher doesn't just fly all over the place and I can't catch him. So I'm just double checking to see where the boss altar was. I still have my notes. If I go southeast, I'm basically going the right way to get to this altar here. Need to run southeast ideally to get to him. Oh, I should also have space in my inventory. What am I thinking? I should also have space in the inventory for food to eat. Gotta eat something. Gotta make sure my hunger doesn't dip down too low. And I guess until I actually get to the area where I'm gonna fight Christocor, a Gravitator, I'm gonna hope I don't get my ass handed to me. Basically. We're just gonna go for it and see what happens. I mean, I have good armor, good weapons. Still don't know exactly what I'm getting into, though. And we're already getting very close to where the actual fight's gonna take place. Just another 50 blocks or so and we should be at the arena. We should be at the place, basically. So I'm really close to the coordinates. Now I need to just find the platform, basically. Alright, I see it. This thing is gonna spawn Crystal Core. Except, excuse me, I need to find a way up there. Excuse me, I need a way up here quickly. Good enough, I guess. Let me just make sure my inventory is ready. I think we can just do the fight like this and hopefully he won't wreck us. Alright, there's Crystal Core. There he is. Alright, looks like he flies. What's the blue debuff do exactly? Seems to be doing like nothing. Oh, I have to be close enough to him to actually get inflicted with blindness, it seems. Now my ability to run is being like significantly impacted. Red is nausea, apparently. Alright, now I'm just getting stuck in floors. Now I'm being withered and being attacked by something else. I don't even know what it is attacking me. Oh, I have slowness. That's why I'm not running very fast. And that's Crystal Core over there. I think I might actually have a better chance killing with a bow at this point, because it just keeps flying, apparently. Alright, everything else is attacking me now, apparently. So it looks like I gotta fight it first. Gotta fight everything else first, apparently. Before I can really fight Crystal Core. I think I'm just gonna pull out the Great Blade instead of the sword. If it's really just gonna keep flying like this, then what's the point of actually using a shorter sword? I'd rather have, like, the longer reach Great Blade to hit it with. Ideally shouldn't die if I just keep on using my healing staffs to keep me alive. Not to mention, this is getting a lot of damage, even. What happened to Chambers? Also weird boss. Clarify. Are you talking about CL Chambers, as in the speedrunner? Probably be able to explain in a lot more detail once the boss is dead. Okay, I have weakness, and wither. Alright, web staff didn't do anything. Yeah, Sweaty was right. Doesn't actually do anything to web staff. Probably shouldn't stay at too low health. A Construct of Terror could just snipe me and kill me in one shot if I'm at low health. I can probably explain it after the whole fight is said and done. Just gonna make sure I don't end up dead trying to kill Crystal Core here is all. Let's just get in some arrows. Maybe I could have actually gone in with a sword. I'm gonna get blindness again, aren't I? Healing staff, quick. Hello, not now, please. Please, I'm in the middle of a boss fight. Okay, I think I have this under control for the most part. So I'm trying to figure out what his hitbox exactly looks like. Okay, I think I figured this out now. Okay, so I think green is maybe slowness? I know red is nausea. Okay, let's get away from you. Okay, I think maybe green's poison. It would make sense if green was poison. He's gonna die soon, it looks like. I don't want to push him too far back. I know red is nausea. Thinking maybe, like, gray could be wither. It would make sense. Yeah, that's probably his wither attack. Blue seems to be blindness. Alright, there's a ton of guys attacking me now, it looks like. And Crystal Core's dead. Let's get the rest of these guys off of me, though, quickly. I got this thing. Let's find the way out. So, it's northwest we gotta run to leave. I'll quickly leave first. Then maybe I'll just buy another giant crystal sometime later. Yeah, I was in the middle of a boss fight. Come on, give me a break. I just don't want to screw it up. And then again, it didn't really even come that close to messing it up either. I mean, I basically did have the boss fight under control for the most part. Can these things stop chasing me? I think I'm having, honestly, more trouble with some of the hostile mobs here than anything else, really. Because they just keep on finding me. I think you're basically wondering, like, what he's doing these days. He's actually still live streaming and learning more old retro games to speedrun. It's not like he disappeared or anything, but this team he had of other retro gamers, it took a huge hit in size following some controversy surrounding his stance on the LGBT community. It's gonna take a lot of explaining for sure. It'll probably be a lot easier to just explain when I'm not in the middle of combat like half the time. So essentially, he had this team known as Retro Craze, and there's this one person who joined the team, known as Lilavir, who actually used the LGBTQIA plus tag on his live streams to basically just let the people who are part of that community know that that's a safe place for them. that he's an ally of the LGBT community. And then he got a message from Seal Chambers essentially telling him to remove that tag from his stream. Understandably, Lilavir was upset and just left the team. And I didn't agree with his actions either. Well, Chambers' actions I didn't agree with. Ultimately, I ended up siding with Lilavir on this whole argument. Not to mention I've been blocked from actually looking at Team Retrocraze's Twitter account, along with at least 20 other people. To quote, I'm part of the cool kids club now. And we'll have plenty more crystal cores to kill as well. Even worse still, more crystals and gemstones to find. Yeah, the more fun part is going to be fighting the boss. And the web staff didn't do shit. Sweaty was right. Web staff is useless against that boss. As soon as the debuff gets removed, it just gets placed right back on you. It just gets reapplied instantly, basically. So web staff's not going to do anything. I guess just bring the best gear you can. Which is exactly what I did. Could have maybe actually gone in with the Skeletal Sword, because Crystal Core doesn't spend too much time flying. Crystal Core sounds like a music genre. It could be. Listening to some Crystal Core. Alright, so definitely do not need to carry these Distortion runes. Probably can also put the rest of these runes away since I'm not going to be doing them too intense for the rest of the stream. Could just go right back to gathering crystals and gemstones. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Just trying to imagine exactly what you said half of that, but sounds pretty cool already. Of course I need to find use for it eventually. That's basically what it is in English, I think. Alright, so I could just go back to grinding out crystals, basically. Because apparently it's going to take twice as long as I initially thought. I'm only getting one giant crystal per 40 purple and red ones. Not two. The wiki seems to be wrong on that. I only get one, apparently. I bet Leveland is from USA. Well, I'm close. I'm basically neighbors with the USA. Well, not literally speaking, but nationally speaking. We're good friends with the USA. I know not everyone is, like, on good terms with, like, the USA, but as far as I'm concerned, we're allies. And then there's the kind of people that basically hate every country and national border. Maybe I'll just relax and look for a couple more crystals. I mean, gemstones. I keep mixing the two up. These look like gems. I don't know what else to say. I just get those mixed up frequently. More so than I like to admit. Probably honestly not gonna need this bow. Even though it looks awesome. Let's just get back in there. Canada is a very receptive and educated country. People treat us better there than the USA. Yeah, Canada's really friendly with refugees and basically all sorts of immigrants. I've even heard some people go as far as to say Canada is a post-national country. As in, it no longer has a core identity with how many people it takes in. Yeah, speaking of which, elections are actually coming up in like 2 days. So I'm basically gonna get the vote again 2 days from now. Just like I did 4 years ago, but gonna make a different choice this time around. Which is what most politicians don't want to acknowledge. But opposed of illegal immigration and forcing incompatible cultures to live together. Because not all cultures and values are exactly created equal. And Canada recently has like one party that's just willing to state the facts, kind of like Donald Trump. So if you look up Maxime Bernier and the People's Party of Canada, I think it'll be safe to say, like, Canada technically has, like, its own sort of Donald Trump running for Prime Minister. Whether or not you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. Is that party a third party? There's actually 6 main parties right now. Well, 5 if you live outside of Quebec. Because, yeah, last I remembered hearing, the Bloc Québécois only runs in Quebec. Then there are like 5 other ones. There's Liberals, Conservatives, New Democratic Party. There's the Green Party, and then there's like the recently formed People's Party of Canada. It was basically like a split from the Conservative Party, that one I just mentioned. Who are you voting for, if you don't mind sharing? I should have known you were gonna ask this. I said I was gonna make a different choice from the last election I voted at. When I hear people in a party name, I think communism. Well, this isn't a communist party. They actually stand for individual freedom more than they do communism. Like, they understand that socialism works until you run out of other people's money. In other words, it basically doesn't work. Okay, I'm being shot at by a lot of constructs of range right now, apparently. Are they shunned the most by the far left? Yeah. Yeah, they do lean right on the political spectrum. So yeah, they're not communists. Communism's like left of the spectrum. Are they being called racists, fascists, right-wing scum? Of course. Probably not going to be using those divine essences for a long time. Not even sure if I might ever end up really using them anytime soon. What kind of policies do I hate the most? What do you mean policies? Well, I'm trying to actually push for a party that'll actually try and lower taxes. Which in turn will just really help increase individual freedom. If less of your money has to go back to the government, then that's always ideal. Though we'll have the side effect of in turn the government being able to just do less for its people. The PPC also wants to do that as well. They want to repeal the carbon tax from the Liberals. First things first, I know they're going to cut that. And then you got, like, the burning rainforest from there. Still sorry to hear about that. Not going to be really using these. Didn't even bring the runes for them, because I wasn't expecting to use them. I know that already. Doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else does, though. Okay, did that Construct of Terror just shoot out that other Construct I was trying to kill? Did he literally just shoot that other guy out? Possibly could have. Nazis are technically left-leaning. I think I just have to say that it's like the worst of both sides of the spectrum, Nazism. So it's basically socialism, but it's restricted to, like, this group of people that are deemed, like, the perfect race. How did I not block that? There we go. Oh, EDU too, I guess, actually. Back in Christevia after all this time, just gathering up more crystals. These things are being extremely annoying right now. That plus I'm having almost no luck even hitting them. Yeah, they're tiny targets, they move fast, and they hit pretty hard too. Everything you don't want in an enemy. Yeah, physicists asked me who I was actually voting for in the upcoming Canadian elections that are set to happen like 2 days from now. Then we started talking about politics because, well, politics. Basically, like, real-world events and issues, essentially. Basically everything but Minecraft. And about how Canada recently got a party that's about as close to Donald Trump as you can get. Someone who's willing to be honest, say what they feel like needs to be said, unlike most other politicians. What do I think of climate change? Yeah, from what I've been hearing, the whole claims of climate change have been, like, exaggerated. I'm not against helping the environment, and you really should be doing your part if possible, but you have to wonder if the whole idea is just being exaggerated to try and push some agenda. Like, do you really think we're actually going to be all dying 12 years from now, or do you think we got more life in us than that? Or do you think the Earth's going to last longer than 12 years? You can't just get rid of cars, unfortunately. It's not that, like, straightforward. Not to mention with how they've only more recently been trying to just catch up with the rest of the world in terms of, like, how much they, like, stuff they can produce. Not to mention there's also a lot of damage being done to the oceans, and from what I hear, most of it's coming from countries like China and Indonesia. Yet we don't hear about the oceans in China and Indonesia too much. Even though, like, we need, like, clean drinking water, yet we don't hear about that too much. I wonder why. I think I know why, but it seems to have slipped my mind. In case you're wondering, yes, I do kind of know why. You have to do something that's, like, basically the whole population will be able to adapt to. Like, if you go implement a change that big, like, how are people going to adapt to it? I'm willing to bet that could have easily sparked most of the recent climate protests, because, yeah, that's a huge rainforest. We could surely be screwed if all of that burns. I might be getting out of here sooner or later as well. Not to mention, I don't have that many night vision potions left on hand. Oh, I see you're both heading out. Probably not gonna stay on that much longer anyways. Kinda getting bored of looking for gemstones. Even though I know it has to basically be done to go for, like, full completion. So I could basically start just chipping away at this until I get tired of it and then just move on to something else. Yeah, that's messed up. Those mobs are almost like mini-bosses. Aside from the construct of terror, they're really not that deadly. As in, like, if I spot one, like, I'll just point it out. Like, I'll probably be able to spot one not too long. It's this thing that flies and just shoots physical projectiles at you that hit pretty hard. And it's moving around pretty frequently, staying pretty far away, so it's usually hard to hit. If you can even see this guy. Except he's really staying far away. Okay, that's a much closer up look of this guy. This guy, basically. Christocor ain't no boss if he keeps running. Sometimes he does tend to just kind of stay up in the air. So I often find myself just shooting my bow at him, since he's actually gun immune. Not to mention my bow still gets in pretty good damage. Oh, two of these just spawned in here, apparently. Will I stream again today for a number 100? I haven't quite decided yet. Alright, gemstones, and... if you break Crystal Core, does he become Break Core? No, I don't think so. If you're doing mathematics while fighting Crystal Core, that doesn't become Math Core either. No, it becomes Crack Core. Guess the best AoA drug. I'm thinking. Ow. I was gonna say Trilliad Leaves. Yeah, those do some pretty crazy stuff. We should probably consider just heading back out, not going further in. Since I'm on my last night vision potion. You can just walk into the bloodlusts and basically not have to carry a blood accumulator with you anymore. Okay, so they're just really overhauling and getting rid of basically most of or all of the annoying things that... So basically just more quality of life updates. And I'm gonna guess no more blood accumulator then if its use is just gonna be overshadowed by simply picking the thing up. So those red things that drop from enemies as you hit them with melee. Instead of just having to pick them up with a blood accumulator, just simply pick them up. I see nothing wrong with that. What do you mean, how will I get an Ancient Cavern? Yeah, if they remove Augury, and thus they'd also have to remove, like, the Augury skill requirements for the Ancient Cavern bosses otherwise. You'd basically be locked out of ever fighting those, which would make no sense. What's my armor, by the way? Speed armor. Because I like speed. You better like speed, too. Stream didn't have to be family friendly, by the way. I'm gonna try and actually just quickly double back over to that red crystal crater from earlier. I think I'm getting close to it. Oh, purple ones. Oh, I see. I'm going to also quickly just get my red gemstones turns crystals, and if I can maybe spot that crystal trader on the way back, I'll just perhaps just buy another giant crystal off of them. I'll likely be able to afford it. Alright, looks like this guy's just gonna block the way out of here. Yeah, that definitely sounds like it came out of that Love Beam song. Or like they just use the same sounds that the Love Beam song uses. Whatever. Man, this dimension is tough. Not really. You should have seen the Vox pawns. That's like infinitely worse, in my opinion. First things first, you're only allowed to wear one set of armor until you can actually end up with a face mask, which that's not easy to do either. Oh, right, I need to actually put more crystals on this thing. I mean, gemstones to turn them into crystals. This should be about like 40 more red crystals right here. At least. Likely I'll be buying another giant crystal, and then later using that to just fight Crystal Core again. Because if I want the golden statue of him, I need to kill him 8 more times, basically. So I'm killing every boss at least 9 times for the gold statue. Thought Crystal Core was actually going to be tougher, but it was actually fairly easy. It's just the more painful process is going to be gathering all the gemstones you need to actually get all these Crystal Core kills in. It's going to be like a long grind just getting every gemstone you need. Because you need 40 red and 40 purple crystals like 9 times. So it's 360 of each. And you get like a 1 in 8 chance that each gemstone you bring becomes a crystal. So let's say you want to just strictly a gold crystal core statue. You'll need 360 purple and 360 red crystals. Then multiply those by 8 because roughly 8 gemstones becomes 1 crystal. Though it could be more or less because it's random. So you could expect to need like 2,880 red gemstones and purple gemstones. Yeah, even with Fortune 3, this is still going to take a while. Now imagine if we didn't have Fortune at all in our pickaxe. This would take so much longer. Yeah, you basically need a lot. And there's just more gemstones. Because why not? So let's basically get to leaving at this point. I'm going to head out. What do you mean, what is the gold statue? Whenever you kill a boss in this mod, it drops its stone statue version. It's essentially a statue of the boss. It's mainly just for aesthetic purposes. But if you kill the same boss 9 times over and put all 9 of the stone statues in the same crafting grid, you'll get a gold statue out of it. Doesn't help I'm actually just trying to hit things in the dark here. Let's pick up my other crystals back. I'm thinking Ornate will just be a rare chance of dropping. So 1 out of every 20 kills, possibly. Give or take. And not just crafting 9 gold ones, thus meaning 81 kills. That would take like 9 times as long about. Killing the boss 81 times over. It will be so annoying. By all means. So I'm trying to face northeast, but I'm not exactly having any luck doing that. Trying to find the way out, but not having the best of luck doing so. Also doesn't help it's now just very dark again. Guess your mother language? You said you were from Brazil, so I'm gonna guess Portuguese. That and that. So that's another Crystal Core fight right there, basically. But I'm probably not doing it now. I'd like to, for now, just get myself out of here. And then figure out what to do for livestream number 100. I was considering uploading this world, and then just basically inviting people to come play on it and have fun and have a good time. But I actually looked at how big the world was. I think it said something like 1.12 gigabytes, so it's at least a gigabyte. And uploading that might take like ridiculously long. Most people think we speak Spanish. I mean, there are some countries in Latin America that they speak Spanish, others Portuguese. Well, Spain and Portugal did colonize most of Latin America, like, many centuries back. I think it was back in like the 15 or 1600s. I think this would technically be the only mod you really need. Advent of Ascension version like 3.1.2.b. Alright, let me face east, ideally. I'm willing to bet this is the only one you need. Oh, Brazil is the only one. I can still barely see in front of me, even. Sucks to not have night vision out here. But we're not going to be staying for that much longer. In fact, I think we're almost out at this point. We're almost basically ready to leave. And that's the portal we'll take to just simply leave. I know people don't speak Latin on a day-to-day basis anymore. That or it could always just go do something else to mix it up a bit. Could go elsewhere. Now I'm getting more Christevia tokens I'm probably honestly never gonna need. I guess let me just put everything away that I have. Yeah, all these gemstones too. Then I guess some random fortune drops we got as well. I think I can also toss out the Christevia rock. Probably honestly never going to use this stuff. Probably not going to really using this anytime soon, so I don't even feel like there's a point in keeping these essences. So if I actually do decide to update to the next version of Advent of Ascension that's coming out, then I'll really basically have no use for any essence because the skill is being removed. They're basically planning to get rid of Augury. Not like anyone's really going to miss it either. Augury's probably not going to be missed. I'm going to have to maybe start turning some of these other gemstone types into crystals sooner or later. But I need to convert the map. I probably have to just relearn how to gather a lot of the resources since it's basically all being like almost completely changed. I'll probably keep this in the hotbar, because why not? I doubt I'd have to convert the map, but so much could change if I just updated. They changed so much in that mod. I didn't think I would anyways. It's not like terrain generation has been changed from what I've been hearing. Last I heard, terrain generation wasn't different. So I basically finally also have like almost a full roof over my head. Only reason it took so long to build is just there are so many more interesting things to go do instead. Besides just building a roof. Completely overhauls like how items like get dropped and how you obtain stuff. Hence it being called the loot update. I'm gonna go eat 2 actually. So I'd have to see if I could actually maybe get that world uploaded. Then again, I have to see if I could actually get anyone interested in actually joining me in this multiplayer Advent of Ascension world. Is it true that Canada has bagged milk? Yes, I've seen it in supermarkets a couple times. Yes, they do have.